right now you are still at the Temple of Ulrich. Not the Temple of Ulrich, the Temple of Sigmar, and he told you, one of the things he said is that Oldet the Halfling might know where the Sword and Flail is. And she was like, why would I know? I've never been there. And he said, oh, because it's pretty close to like the Halfling Quarter and the Blazing Hearth. It's kind of a cross, very close to the edge of the burned out area of the Newmarket Eastgate, which is this kind of area over here. You guys are charged with going and finding evidence that can be used to save the poor innocent Jacob Bauer. What do you guys want to do?
Cry.
Yes. First order of business, we're going to cry for a night.
We'll have a group cry session going on. You know,
just shower and pray.
maybe we'll start a little fire and burn some photos and documents. Try to cleanse our aura. You know.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
I guess we're going. I mean, we all agreed to go right at the end.
Yeah, I mean, there was a huge debate about, because obviously Bertilda had set her sights on becoming a member of the Church of Ulrich.
Right.
She doesn't believe that the church is corrupt. She thinks that there's a big misunderstanding. Y'all are not so convinced. But at the same time, there has been enough discussion to say, well, maybe it's not the whole church. Maybe it's just, the one guy that you really like. Maybe it's just him.
That's what I'm wanting to be true. Even though that hurts her feelings too.
That's it. Yeah, because Bertilda's kind of decided that she really likes this acting priest.
Well, at least she did before he turned out to be an asshole.
Right. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to know. Oldet
Yes.
knows a rumor about that priest.
Yep.
Has she ever told anybody else in the party about that rumor, or is that something she's kind of kept to herself? I can't remember.
I think she told.
I mentioned it to them because it kind of broke Bertilda's heart.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I could start a rumor about the little princess of the town and make her out to be the bad guy, and we can kind of...
Because he was basically having an affair with one of the daughters of a higher-up noble house that shouldn't be happening.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I did mention it, kind of, when it was brought up that Bertilda liked him, and I was like, oh, wait, no.
Oh, no.
Don't let this crush go.
Okay.
I'll save you the heartbreak later.
Well, hey, if that didn't do it, this probably will.
I hope you no longer have a crush on him after all of this.
Maybe. We'll see.
This is toxic,
The whole jailing us thing.
That was
This
just
is totally
flirting.
toxic.
The brutally throwing us in jail and beating 9 bales of shit out of the one witch hunter kind of did do a little bit to mar your affections towards him, I guess.
It could just be
The party in general.
Anyway.
The party in general. Maybe not Bertilda.
he could just be a kinky little bitch. You know?
I don't know. Like, is Bertilda into the whole consensual non-consent thing? Because I don't go there.
So earlier today, I was listening to a true crime podcast, and they were talking about this dude that was like into BDSM or whatever. But they were like, but he wasn't real psyched about consent, and I was like, that's a weird way to put it. He wasn't psyched about consent.
Yeah. It wasn't such an important aspect of the whole thing. Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah, we're heading there.
Alrighty. Is there any particular way you want to go there, or are you just going to take head straight down the main street to the new market and find your way towards it?
I would assume we don't want to be too conspicuous, considering we
Stick
just
to
broke out of
crowds, but
jail.
away from guards, like city guard, as well as the knights.
Okay. All right.
Like, if we see any of them, I would like to duck out of the way.
Gotcha. So, being aware of who you're coming near and past, but not necessarily like trying to do the whole around every corner and stuff. Right?
Yeah,
So-
trying to
Okay.
save crowds so we
While we're-
disappear.
While we're at it, should I be stopping by the stablery where I've kept my horse and like dropping a little bit more money there at this point?
You can if you wish. I
Probably
mean, you could definitely take the detour over to here and
Yeah, it's not
come
that
around.
far out, right?
Yeah. Okay. Your horse is still well stabled and well taken care of. I mean, it is a very wealthy, well-to-do place, so
Good old pat.
Yeah, it's good. Alrighty. Okay.
The video game equivalent of
He
taking
says,
care
I
of a
smell
horse.
other horse on you.
All right, so down the Newmarket Eastgate area. Let's go ahead and move you into the tavern. Ah, it's very loud, tavern. Settle down there. There we go.
Some loud people.
Yeah, it's not that loud. It shouldn't be that loud. Okay. Let me see here. The Sword and Flails Tap Room. Okay. Here we are. And let me go ahead and put all you guys in here. And then I will move you over to the map in question. And kind of give you a little bit of a rundown of what you're seeing. Okay. So the first thing you notice as you walk inside the Sword and Flail is there are no tables and chairs. There are bar stools, there are benches, but other than that, not a table to be seen, not a small chair to be seen. It's really mostly a large open space. There's little furniture of any kind. The benches, if you will, go ahead, as this all does seem a little strange, everyone can give me a perception check.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I check the floor? See
This
if
is
it's like
not a
a
new
scrapping bar?
day,
Do
right?
people come here to fight?
It's not a new day. Technically... Ooh.
Did a thing.
Success by 1 point there, Batilda.
Whoa!
Cattle
I don't
Rail,
care.
good
I did the
success.
thing.
Everybody succeeded but me. I'm oblivious.
Yeah.
The building
okay.
has a floor.
I'm just
Nice.
thinking about how it's like, I don't know about this.
Building
place. I
shape?
don't know
Right.
about this
Okay.
I
place.
succeeded by 1 point too.
Alright, so what you in fact notice is the benches have iron brackets attached to the legs, and they are nailed to the floor. Like, there's like outer legs and like middle legs to the benches, and they are secured physically to the floor. Like,
Where the hell are we?
there's no picking these up. Glancing around, you can see pieces of glass embedded in the walls, bits of stains, various different slash marks, possibly where axes might have stuck in the wall and stuff like that. Lots of stains on the floors. The tap house itself, the regulars here at the Sword and Flail, they're a mixture of off-duty watchmen, gate guards, maybe a few mercenaries, and generally speaking, mostly not particularly well-off looking individuals here at all. There's a single barman behind the bar itself, no waitresses, no wenches coming around taking orders, no sign of food anywhere. This is clearly a drinking establishment and little else.
So I'm gonna turn to the party and be like, this place is clearly evil. There's no tables.
There used to be tables from the looks of it.
Woo! That's it. Behind the bar, the
That's a
guy
That's your
that's kind of
standard of
serving the
comparison.
drinks, he's a heavy set man, probably his late 30s. He's got greasy black hair kind of plastered over his balding scalp. Like, you know when men, like when they're virtually going bald and they comb their hair back to where it now covers it, but you can see all the lines through it because it's barely enough hair to cover their head. It's kind of like that.
go bald gracefully, gentlemen.
That's
Just
right.
Shave it.
He himself
Embrace.
appears to have quite a
Embrace the
few
balls.
scars and cuts and bruises on him. Some seem fairly fresh. Others look like they've been there a long, long time. Other than that, glancing around, most people here seem to be human. There is an elf immediately to your right, kind of sitting there, and he looks like he's already 3 sheets to the wind as he's holding his arms out and kind of like swaying. In the far top left-hand corner on a stool with a thick, kind of like light brown beard is a burly and thick-set dwarf, sitting by himself, kind of like with a cloth skull cap over his head, clutching a small mug, is a halfling. Beyond that, though, they're all pretty much human.
I haven't made a plan just yet. Perhaps we should claim this bench.
Your volume's a little quiet tonight,
Oh,
Satch. If
yeah,
you
I'm a
can
little
maybe
far
turn it
from
up
the
just a
mic.
fraction.
Miss
There we
Boobacious over here is also a human.
Boobacious, which one?
Which one?
Oh,
This.
this last.
The one that looks like she's holding her mug between her boobs.
Yeah,
somewhat?
that last right there. Yeah. Yeah. She is human.
Yes.
Sound better?
Much better. Perfect.
Okay. At that point, I'm just gonna. We don't really have much of a plan. Maybe we should claim this bench. I'm just gonna sit on the bench.
Okay.
But
Okay, you sit down on the bench. It has absolutely no give in it whatsoever. I mean, it's very sturdy. It's going to support all of you with no problem, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Good to know.
How tall is it? Do I have to climb?
Even Britannica would have a hard time to pick this bench up and hit someone with it, and maybe that's exactly why it's bolted to the floor, to make sure that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate sitting with everyone on the same playing field because we have to turn our head, lean back and forth to talk to everybody.
Access
against
the
the
wall.
wall.
Yeah, we're not gonna get stabbed here if we're.
No, I'm.
At least not from behind. At least we see it coming when it happens.
Some of us can parry.
Are any of the off-duty guards the ones that we would recognize, either that we've worked with or that arrested us?
Let's. You did
Took
see.
a little while to answer, Gora.
I know, right?
You saw them. You were with them for a reasonable amount of time. I mean, there's an awful lot of town guards, but if you're trying to figure that out, go ahead and, if you will, give me, give me a perception check, and we'll see if you can recall that. With the fact that you was around him a lot, I was going to say, not that you need it. I was going to say you can consider it easy, so you can have plus 20 on it.
Okay.
Okay. No. None of the guards that are in here were any that you had a run-in with, thankfully.
Yes. Yes. Good.
This guy, he is still wearing his uniform. The guy next to him is kind of wearing the tunic, but not any of the armor, and certainly not the helm.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly he is a member of the town guard.
Okay.
Are we supposed to try to sneak into the basement? Is that the plan?
I did notice there's a door over here. I'm just gonna very nonchalantly lift a finger. Likely wherever anything might be hidden is past that. We would need a distraction to get through there.
Yeah, the door is level with the bar itself. There's, other than that, you've seen no other openings here at all. And this is a 2-story establishment. Again, by the size of it and stuff like that, and just looking around, it is very unlikely that it accommodates rooms and stuff like that. It's really more of a bar than an inn of any kind.
Hang on a second.
How are we gonna do a distraction?
I guess a distraction, or we can try and. Our diplomacy has never really succeeded for us.
Good at starting fights.
Hey guys, we just had a tornado come in, so I might have to dip out for a little bit.
Oh, is it getting bad? Okay.
There's a tornado here. Yeah,
Jeez.
we're gonna have to go down to the basement.
Okay. Well, do what you got to do.
I'll be back
Be-
if I can.
Be safe.
Yeah, be safe,
Please
Matt.
be safe.
I'll be back if I can. You guys know what I would do. You can roll my stuff.
Okay.
Hey, everybody in chat say really nice things about tornadoes.
Yeah.
I hear them.
Let's
Are
take
really
care.
petty.
You're probably going to lose power, I guess, huh?
I might. I'm gonna go down to the basement. And we're gonna keep an eye on it, but I'll come
Okay.
back.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and shutter you, and if you drop power, then Shagget can put up an extra candle.
Sounds good.
So we don't. All right. Be
we'll
careful.
figure it
Be
out.
safe.
Good luck, Nat. Good luck.
I have nothing but good things to say about tornadoes, guys. I sure haven't
Love
heard that they're
tornadoes.
petty.
They're so sweet.
They're not petty. They don't take out revengeance on your friends and stuff.
Wow. That's scary.
Oof.
You know what's funny? She left the dog.
No. Wally, no.
The dog's like, wait, I don't get to be safe. Oh, I'm so.
Okay. Can we text her?
Can we text
her? Like,
I'm sure
didn't
she knows.
notice?
There you are, chat. You can't really.
No. Like, hey.
poor dog.
The poor, you can't see it, but the poor dog is sitting at the door like, what about me?
Oh,
Okay.
There you go.
Hey,
No! No, she opened the door, gave the dog something, and then left it there. Someone, Casey,
Well, I mean,
text her
maybe
and say, what about the dog?
Maybe she knows something we don't. Maybe
Yeah,
he's
get the dog.
Food.
Nat, the dog.
Come, she's back in the room. She's
There she goes.
she was getting a leash for the dog.
Okay.
She was getting the dog
You
leash.
got the leash.
She's being a responsible dog owner, not. Oh man.
Responsible dog owner. I keep my
Well,
dog.
no, that was
in
why
a
my
safe.
reaction was. She knows something we don't. Maybe the
Yeah.
dog for whatever reason safer. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
the dog is a piece of
Okay.
shit,
I
you know?
feel better. I feel better. We're gonna so tell her about that later. Like, oh my god, we were all.
We're all like, what about the dog?
Oh, what about the dog? Oh, good. It's nice to know Nat isn't evil, right?
Well, unless the dog is evil and the good thing to do.
That's it. Well, everybody, send good thoughts, send positive energy. Let's hope everything is fine. We will. We've got to shut her up, but we can see her camera. So if the power doesn't go off, we'll let you know if suddenly something in
Hey,
the room
if
just
shit
flies
starts
through the-
like just, I mean that would be kind of impressive if we see the just. I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully,
if that were to
you know.
happen and
I mean-
her internet was still up, like, wow, who is
I know it's completely like
Ladder.
physics-wise, it's not possible for the tornado to just kind of rip through the room and us to watch because the camera would be taken. But like that's how I keep imagining it.
Well, if the camera
So-
suddenly flies in the air and smashes against the ceiling, we'll know.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've seen Twister way too many times in my youth, so I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to do in the short term, I'm going to go ahead and go to Aldet's sheet and assign everybody the ability.
We tend to look at stats.
Let's see if this works.
Right.
Can y'all see her
There it is.
character sheet?
Yep. Got it.
You probably can't control her icon, but you probably can see her
I
character
can't
sheet.
see her actual character sheet. It just
I
says
can.
bio and info.
Oh yeah, same.
Oh, okay, hold on. a minute. 1 second. Oh yeah, because I've got to put can be edited by. There you
Well,
go.
Kinda mess with some
tornado god would
stats.
be just another chaos god at this point.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
There you go. All right, cool beans. All right, so yeah, y'all can take it in turns to roll for her and do whatever's necessary. Okay. As long as her basement walls aren't lined with farming implements, she should be fine.
Who are these people?
Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah, you've all kind of plopped yourselves down as far away from most people. To your left is just like on the floor. There are tons of broken bottles and glasses and stuff like that are just left there.
That kind of place. All right. So, I guess the question was asked, what can we do to start a distraction, right?
oh damn it! And the person who could start a distraction.
Yeah,
is
I was thinking that
amazing.
exact thing when she's just like, "Oh, I gotta go." I'm like, "Oh
This
no."
is where we find out if the luck of the halfling belongs to the character or Nat.
Oh no, it's totally Nat.
I'm not touching these dice.
We're gonna get her killed again. Okay.
Right.
Because I was thinking perhaps we could probe the owner of the establishment. Maybe he lets them operate, or maybe he is a member himself.
Or we could. I mean, since we know this place is full of guilty people, we could just pretend to be new recruits or something. We can try to, join them.
That's kind of what I was getting at, but
Oh,
I
sorry.
can't. Sorry, I can't tell. I can't. Obviously, I can't convey meanings very well. Might not be the best for the job. I'm gonna kind of look at Eldette. You keep looking at Eldette like.
Why are you so quiet?
Aldette is hiding underneath the bench.
She heard a tornado coming.
Eldette. This is exactly where you shine, Eldette.
Okay, so what do you want her to do? What's Aldette doing?
No, I was gonna basically let Nat answer that. I was
not
really
happening.
excited for that. Yeah,
Aldette, that's not
because she had
happening.
either.
So,
I was gonna
Hasn't
suggest either
Trax,
talking
what's
to
up,
the
buddy? Good to
barkeep,
see you. Take your pants off at the height. Thank you for the resub.
either talking to the barkeep and getting him to, like, I don't know, be like, oh yeah, I run an evil secret devil cult. It's no big deal. If you need to join it because your family's on the outs and you can't even talk to your daughter anymore, then well, I have the cult for you.
I
I was
these
hoping
people
that she'd
would-
be able to do that.
Yeah, these people would know about all the craziness that's going on in the town right now, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, considering some of them are, a fair number of them are either off-duty guards or watchmen or gate guards and stuff.
Yeah.
So Aldette would probably do something to capitalize on that.
Yeah. What is the atmosphere of the place? Is it tense, or are just people getting wasted, relaxing?
It's fairly kind of just lighthearted and jovial. I mean, it doesn't have a sinister feel to it or anything like that. I mean,
Holy
people
crap.
aren't sitting in the corner
Maybe these
going,
people don't know what's going on outside.
I will have a pint of newborn baby's blood, please.
It comes in pints. I'm getting one.
That's like a whole baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the most part, it feels like just it's a dive bar. But,
And these people aren't worried about what's going on outside. Or at least they don't seem to be.
Right.
welcome respite.
Damn it, Odette.
I guess Odette would go to the bartender.
Yeah, probably would start with
Yeah,
that.
I think she would, yeah.
Because then we can use the start a fight as a last resort.
Yeah, and basically just like, I just got into town. What's new? What's going on? I've heard crazy things. Why are you not scared? Like that, those kinds of lines
Okay.
of questions, I imagine.
Yeah, probably playing up the idea of being afraid though to get like an angle where it's just like, yeah, no, I'm scared. I just came to town. Everything's going crazy. If
And
only
yet-
I felt comfortable in a situation so chaotic. And then they'd be like, yes, well, I have chaos for you.
Everybody's talking about chaos.
Yeah, but why is no one afraid in here? They're all just relaxing. I mean, yeah.
Let me tell you a little secret. I'm always chaos.
All right, okay. So Adele's going to walk up to the barkeep. All right. He kind of watches her as she approaches, and then like leans forward and looks down as she disappears from view once she's below the height of the bar.
We'll get her a bunch of books.
She'd probably climb up on top of the stool.
Okay. Yep. She pulls herself up onto the stool and sits there, and he just, with a big toothy grin, like a huge big open mouth grin, and he's missing like a tooth over here and one down here. He smiles and he says, "Ah, welcome to the Sword and Flail, little one. What can I get you? We have a selection of the finest ales from all across the empire. Of course, those brewed right here in the great city of the White Wolf are by far the best. What can I get you?"
Probably opt for one of those, taking the suggestion to be, more friendly.
Okay, he kind of turns around and holds out, picks up a mug from under the bar. He turns around and then goes to the far end, holds it underneath the tap, and then he starts like walking backwards along. Like, no, aha! And then he stops at this one and pours the drink.
He just
Very quickly spins around, slaps it down, boom, on the counter. Some of it like goes, poof, pops up out of the top, and he says, "Ah, yes, this one. This will be more to your halfling palate. Have you tried the fare down the road? Have you been to the halfling district since you have been here? Did you have chance to drop by, or have you come straight here to the Sword and Flail?"
Oh my god, would she tell the truth or would she
We would probably spin it. We've just got back.
just got here, yeah.
Like we just got back, but this is our first time here. So like that's the time we got here, right?
Okay.
Just trying to think of it. It is hard, guys, isn't it? Like I don't want to talk for now.
She has the gift of gab, this character, and like
Me and my friends
We're
have
all
just
idiots. The parties are idiots. Like, we don't.
Well, remember,
me and my
you have to
friends have
be-
just recently
be the old it. Become the
entered come to Middenheim. We've been kind of out seeing the sights and have stopped by some of the greater temples. But I did hear on the street perhaps we should what's a word she would use for sample a bar. See the sword and flail.
Taste the world.
Yeah.
Experience the world's flavors.
Something about it being,
Crap.
very worldly and of the city.
If you want to see the worst bar in town,
I worked at the worst bar.
called the last sip.
that's it.
It was at Applebee's. No.
It's called
He says,
Applebee's.
"Well, the Sword and Flail is not typically one that sightseers find themselves being pulled towards. I was thought that, as I said, south of here in the Altmark Quarter, specifically the Hasling District, you will find the tavern, more akin to your small stature, called the Blazing Hearth, and the food there is really quite good. We here do not serve any kind of fare, other than a great selection of fine beer."
Okay. Player huddle for Oldette
Player
right
huddle.
now.
Okay.
I find it incredibly odd, and I think Oldette would too, that this guy is trying to send a customer somewhere else.
Yeah. Also, forgot entirely the angle of trying to make it like we're afraid of the street and trying to find like refuge or something from it. Whoops. Not very gabby of me. So how would she spin this?
I mean, we could have come in because we saw something
Right
just
round,
outside.
baby. Right round. That's how she
Yeah.
spins.
When we entered this place, Gort, were the streets crowded? I mean, what time of day is it again?
So,
With the chaos going on, I imagine.
yeah, it's mostly a lot of people are off the streets for that very reason. But there is a lot. But anything you're seeing on the streets really is usually signs of unrest. Small mobs gathering, whispering, or people yelling profanity, or baying out for blood and stuff like that. So the area that you're at, this particular region of the city, was one of the worst hit during the actual Siege of Chaos, because it's like right across from the gate. So the East Gate, right near the East Gate, is the gate that was that the Chaos forces actually did manage to bring the gate down. Right. There's a lot of burnt buildings there, and then there's a kind of a large cleared out area. I'll pop you. Let me.
Yeah, I noticed that like the southern part was like a.
We'll pop back to this map real quick, and I'll give you more so you can kind of see it a little bit more specifically. 1 second. So yeah, if you look, you can see, as I said, here was the Eastern Gate. There was a lot of burnt out buildings here, and then here is the the New Market area. Now you are in an establishment that's kind of right here on the corner, one of the edge buildings. Outside of that, all in this area here, it's kind of cleared. Like, obviously there were buildings there. You can see black stains where soot was and stuff like that. But all of any building that was kind of in a bad state has been removed. They have gone as far as clearing those buildings out. So that's why it's kind of big and wide and open here. There are several town guards stationed in this area. But, I mean, there's nothing really more heinous or ugly going on here than anywhere else in the city currently. But
okay, so there was no. Did we see any obvious signs of like a fire or something that a mob would get involved in? I mean, you said people were whispering and there's unrest and suspicion.
Nothing particularly over the top or graphic here. No. Not like not like you saw the house that they were setting fire to the house and they pinned the guy to it and tied deer antlers to it to try to make it look like he was a chaos warrior.
So here's
nothing
thing,
to that
though.
extreme.
Yeah.
I feel like Aldette would try to gauge this guy,
yeah.
As far as to try to figure out what kind of angle she would come at him at. So as far as does she need to play innocent? Like, oh, we saw a guy tied up, they were setting fire to his house and everything, or would she be more I think she was enjoying it?
Because at the other end of that is we're trying to get in league with someone who might be proliferating some chaos here. So I think it's more I'd noticed it's not exactly a sightseeing town at the moment, or something along those lines. It's just but I'm always out to see something new, or something along those lines to try and wind back into that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she would be afraid of it, or really interested in it.
Yeah, the world is crazy, isn't it?
Okay, so this guy has been pushing the halfling place where we've eaten before. He's mentioned it a few times, right?
Yeah.
So honestly, I think the next thing she'd say is, I just came from there. There's a mob forming. Apparently someone inside the halfling is being accused of some chaotic influence. And I think she'd raise her voice so people around her would hear, because it's such a touristy hotspot, right? Yeah. She's a halfling. Maybe she wants to send people that way to investigate or see for themselves, to clear this place out a little bit.
Okay.
That's a better angle than I had, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going with Shaggett's idea because his brain is bigger.
All right. He kind of looks and he goes... These are very dark times we find ourselves in. Well, perhaps it is not such a good place for you to go right now. So stay here at the Sword and Flail and enjoy a good drink. And maybe perhaps a sing-song later, yes? I will tell you though, this tavern is known to get a little bit rambunctious. Sometimes people drink just a bit too much, and when this happens, sometimes people get a little bit violent, and this is the reason that I no longer bother to keep tables and chairs. I have come to the custom and the acceptance that replacing tables and chairs is a waste of money and futile effort, for each week they will be destroyed, so instead we have taken a more simpler approach. But while we are simple in the furniture and the decor, We pride ourselves in our selection of fine beers, and wines, and schnapps. Perhaps your friends might care to come to the bar and select a drink for themselves?
Those are total Willy wine bottles. I don't know why, but I was thinking of those little things you use to make whipped cream, like it pressurizes. Oh. It's like, those things are huge. Okay.
No. I kind of really like this guy. I hope he's not in league with chaos.
We might have a sing-along.
Yeah, she would probably be like, I don't think she would order for us. She'd probably just generalize that the elves like wine.
Okay. So is she going to order for you, or is she just going to come?
I think she would order for us.
Yeah. She would probably be like something
what does Oldette decide to order for you guys?
Well, she would taste the beer she got first, and if it's good, she would get one
it's a good dark hoppy beer.
Then she'd probably get one for Bertilda.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, whatever she got, she would probably get one for Bertilda.
And then she would probably just be like, and the elves can drink your cheapest wine. They don't know the difference anyways.
Nat's in chat.
Yeah, but she can't hear us. I think.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
She can't hear us. Yep.
While that's going on, Matthew Bain is
now I'm
actually
going to mess with her.
We just start making faces, and you move Oldette's character around, and we're just like,
No, don't do that to Oldette.
I'm gonna hold up a finger, just like to Catarel and Bertilda, and just like, wait a minute, I want to see something. And I'm just gonna.
Is he about to cast spells? Is he gonna cast another spell?
I'm gonna give you a withering look that you can't see because I still have my helmet on. And I'm actually just gonna walk over here and lean against this wall by the door.
Okay.
Just to see, like, if the people around give a crap that I'm near a door, like if maybe one of them's a bouncer or a guard or something that's for
this place doesn't really need bouncers and guards, considering half of its patronage is guards and mercenaries and stuff like that. So what would a paid bouncer do? But no, I mean, people kind of watch you as you walk by, and you get a kind of couple of strange up and down looks, but no one seems to be particularly bothered that you've propped yourself up against the side of the wall.
Okay. And the door handle's right there, like on my side.
Yep.
When the bartender's looking or
Talking
distracted,
to Odette, yeah.
talking to Odette, I'm gonna just jiggle it to see if it's locked or not. Just to
Just going to kind of lean over and go.
Yeah.
No, it does not appear to be locked. You push the handle down and you feel it
Just
click.
enough. Yeah,
just enough to feel the door actually give just a fraction and pull it back, and it's not locked.
Okay. You're just gonna see me against the wall, kind of go. Give a
I'm just
thumbs
gonna
up.
turn to Bertilda like, is that a signal?
Okay.
Are we supposed to do something?
So he's
He
put
cast a spell on the door.
He's put another beer on the counter, which was requested for Bertilda. What is she ordering for the two elfices?
I assumed cheap wine.
Everybody knows elves like mint schnapps.
No, I mean, Catarel really did like the peppermint schnapps at the last place. It was good. It was good. Highly recommend.
Okay. So
It really opens the sinuses.
That's it. All right, so he puts another couple of goes over and uses his teeth to pull the cork out of a bottle and pours a couple of glasses, and then uses his chin to tap it back in and puts the glasses on the table. And he goes, "There you go. So let's see if he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think I know how he lost his teeth.
6 pennies, please."
6 pennies. We could go all month.
Well, if your pockets are deep, so are my barrels.
It's like living in Thailand.
Yeah, she'll pay probably with some gratuity.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
And
kind
a
of
couple
looks and
extra
says,
pennies.
I understand that there is nowhere good to rest your drink, so I suggest you nurse it comfortably in your lap. But if you spill some, it is fine. There have been many spillages on this fine wooden floor. It adds to the character.
I
Well,
don't
it
think he
explained the
meant that to
smell.
be ominous, but it kind of was.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Lots of liquids have been spilled on this floor.
Me too.
And with that, he goes, oh, excuse me. And he moves down here, and this guy kind of turns around and orders another drink.
Oh, the guy who's manspreading over there.
Yeah.
Man, if that was a signal, then we really should have done something. I don't know what he's doing over there.
I don't know what he expected us to do.
I mean, if he
Don't
casted a
rush the door!
spell,
Ah!
if he casted a spell, it's as good as a wall now. But
I mean, it's a door.
Is Old Debt just going to sit there at the bar with all your drinks, or?
Sure.
She
I think
would probably come back to
I
us.
should take it back and be like, "Where's the other one?"
Okay. As she comes back, the half, because I mean she's going to walk right by this the other halfling, right?
Oh, the
As
whole
he
half.
kind of like comes back, he goes, excuse me, miss. I couldn't help but overhear. Is what you said true about the blazing hearth?
She would double down on this because that's one person out the building.
It might be. Who's asking?
She says, I do apologise. A pleasure to meet your acquaintance. He kind of like glances around before he speaks. He says, they know me around here as, Back Alley Tom, but, my actual name is, Tominus Londinium. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes,
Nice to see a friendly face.
well, quite. Sometimes it helps to be a little bit smaller than everybody else, especially when the whole city's going to hell in a handbasket, as it were. But it does concern me that such things have made their way to the blazing hearth. Is there much unrest down there in the in our halfling quarter? I mean, I've stayed clear for a couple of days, trying to make sure I don't bring the wrong element down there myself. But it was fine last I checked on it. So when did you go there? When did you see all this? Was it today?
Well, it's just
Yeah, we just passed up through there, didn't we?
it's
Is this
a
right?
few hours ago, like an hour ago, or whatever. Yeah.
Oh dear me. Well, you said that they had suspicions of some sort of chaos going on inside? I mean,
It's just
as well you know, our sorts are somewhat more resistant to such things than others.
it was more. There was just a mob just down the street from it, and they were pointing in its general direction. Apparently, a non-halfling patron was causing a stir within. That was where the suspicion lied.
Well, perhaps they called the town guard and had him carted off. But perhaps by now everything's all right.
Well, I was hoping you and I could convince these off-duty guards to help go, to go and see it themselves.
Good luck. I don't know if you can tell by the angular directions that their light-footed staggerings are causing them to travel, but I think that they are several sheets to the wind. And what I can tell you is, once people in here tend to have one or two drinks, they do tend to get a little bit carried away. I doubt for a second that a couple of off-duty guards is going to make a whole lot of difference. I'm sure if there is a real problem, the on-duty guards would take care of it.
For a guy named Back Alley Tom, he sure is a very honest and astute individual. I don't trust it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I wanted to get the whole place shit-faced.
I mean, boot, that I could see Odette doing that, honestly.
I mean, after hearing that,
Especially after hearing that, right? I mean, we got fucking money that we never were saving up for your armor and my book, but
I mean, it's not like I can get the armor right now anyway.
especially since those 4 drinks were 6 pennies, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
a penny,
think we're about
a penny
to,
a beer and 2 for the wine. I mean,
I think we're about to get this whole bar of white girl wasted, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we set it off, then
Basic
it'll
white
be
bitch
easy
time.
to walk through the door.
Yeah, so Odette's gonna say you're absolutely right. And then I think she's gonna return to the stool, stand atop of it,
okay.
face the crowd, and be like, "Drinks on me for everybody,"
As much as you can handle.
Okay.
as loudly as she can.
Well, at that point, riotous cheers will erupt, and immediately most of the patrons will start. Oh, I'll have a pint and brandy for me and schnapps over here, and I'll take a refill. And people start yelling orders. With that, the barkeep, with a big smile on his face, says, "Ho ho! Yes, well, hold on. Let me get to it. Let me get to it." And he starts rushing around behind him. Oh, let's see. One here, and he starts just pouring drinks.
And the rest of us are going to be like, what the hell just happened?
I am going to take that opportunity to try to open the door while the bartender's like distracted, and slip in and close it immediately behind me. Like, not
Okay,
open it very much, but
I'll give
just
you a
enough.
plus 10 for the distraction, so go ahead and give me a, let's,
Ooh, oh no.
Silent move?
Depends on what it is.
well, it's really both. What's the average of your silent move and your concealment? Because you're trying to be quiet and hide. I don't want to make you make 2 rolls.
Yeah, so they're both at 25.
Oh, well then there you go. So 35 it is. There's your target number.
Oof.
35 to do it unseen by anybody. Or unnoticed by anybody.
I'm more focused just on the bartender. So it would make sense if I fail and some other patron sees me, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make sure you don't try it until until he's turned his back over here to fill a pint.
Right.
Yeah.
He's my only one I actually care about. The
Okay.
patrons seem to not give a shit anyway, right? But here we go.
Gosh damn it.
I am re-rolling that.
Okay.
I'm using one of my points
All right.
because I'm stupid. So let's see what happens. Hey!
Hooray!
Much better, much
That
better.
was a huge difference between 74. Yeah, we went from 3 levels of failure to a couple of levels of success. Okay. Seizing the opportunity, glancing around when you see that the least eyes are upon you, you kind of move up to the door, reach behind you, push the handle down, slide back into the door, allowing the door to kind of open, and then weasel your way past and pop the door back behind you.
It's Matthew
Catarella
Bain
or
just did a
Bertilda?
thing.
If Catarella or Bertilda are looking in my general direction, as the door slides closed, you see a thumbs up.
And then, as the door closes, you think, oh, fuck it, oh, shit.
Yeah, they go, no, but you see that, like, woo!
Okay.
That's what the thumbs mean.
All right. So yeah, you are in a small little antechamber. There is a flight of wooden stairs going up and a flight of wooden stairs going down.
Okay, I guess I would just listen to see if I hear movement above or below. I mean, without actually having to climb the steps.
All right, and Old Debt just spent about 30 pennies.
But yeah, I would see if there's any activity above or below.
All right, give me a perception check. Obviously, you can have any pluses if you have any bonus skills that apply to listening.
Okay.
Not smelling, but listening.
Yeah, I know.
Nope,
yeah.
that's a failure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's quite a noise now coming from behind the door because everybody's in high spirits. They're getting free beer. They're cheering, and it's very hard to hear anything subtle going on.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I would stand there for a little bit, wondering what the hell to do now, because I didn't really have a,
Didn't think it passed getting beyond the door.
I know what I'll say if I get caught, but that's another issue entirely. So
I think it was going to depend on who catches you.
yeah.
So at this point, Catarel, realizing what's happening, I was just going to kind of turn to Bertilda and be like, I'm going to need you to tag team with Odette here to get attention off the door so I can go back up the other elf. He's lost without me.
He never expected me to succeed. That's right.
I'm going to kind of stammer a little bit, and then I'm going to go over to Odette
Okay.
and be like, I'm going to lean down to her and go, are we distracting? Like, is this the distraction plan? Like, what is happening?
Well, I mean, everybody, most people are now, they've gotten a drink and stuff, and now they're back to drinking. So the distraction aspect is kind of dying down now.
Oh.
I mean, no one's attention is firmly positioned on the door for sure, but at the same time, I mean, there are plenty of people that can see the door from their peripheral vision or whatever very clearly. So if anybody was to just walk through, somebody would no doubtedly be like, and see it. Whether they would give two shits or not, who knows? But
I'm going to take my glass of wine and probably Matthew Beans as well. Not gonna pass on that. So
Okay, continue the distraction.
well, you're really good at certain things. Yes.
I am just gonna point at the person who's closest to the door. Is that person like what are
This
they
one?
like?
Or you mean this?
No, to the one closest to the door where Matthew Bang went.
Okay. He's like probably a middle-aged gentleman. I mean, this guy right here, bald-headed. I say middle-aged,
Okay,
probably.
he's
a
not
little
gonna
on the
do.
older
I'm gonna
side.
glance around the bar and see if I can find like.
What are you looking for? What are you
I'm
looking for
looking
in a
at-
man?
Right, I'm looking for someone who's gonna draw a lot of attention that people are gonna.
Are these two a
Somebody
couple?
With the
that-
bouncing
Well,
beauty
I mean,
right here.
there's the
Are those
girl
two a
that you
couple?
seem to point out. I mean,
Well, I mean, there are mostly dudes in here.
Yeah, are those two a
there's your
couple?
dwarven friend.
Those are always down for a fight.
I mean,
A
there's only.
I'm
only
not
two-
taking on a
there's only
dwarf.
two- other than yourself and Odette, there's only two lassies in here, for sure.
I'm just gonna start shouting about somebody challenging. I'm gonna challenge somebody to a drinking contest.
Okay. Who?
Ooh.
Ooh.
And
Yes.
I was looking for the person who looks like they would be the biggest spectacle. That,
Probably the dwarf then. If you
oh,
want a
Jesus,
drinking
I'm
contest.
gonna die of alcohol poisoning. All right, I'm challenging the dwarf to a drinking contest.
That's like the one person you don't want to challenge.
I just said I didn't want to take on the dwarf.
I
But
know.
Right. So yeah, he's
That
just
would
kind of
cause more
sitting there.
spectacle.
Go ahead. How you want to handle that? Let's see how this goes.
Oh, Jesus, Gore. Think you can take on I don't know what language would I use here? I wouldn't say lassie. That's not.
Try moistened bint.
You ever had to outdrink a gal from Utengard?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
That's the roots.
You kind of like say that the dwarf, this guy right here kind of looks at you and he goes, "Beer?"
What?
Yeah, this guy right
I mean,
right
you-
next to you kind of just
Spook, you shouted it to like 6
No,
people.
I
in
was
front.
pointing at the dwarf when I said it, though.
I know,
Oh,
but-
okay, so you're going to point at the dwarf and say it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get the I'm pointing at part. Okay, you say it, and you're like,
The dog is back in the room.
oh, and so that wasn't very polite.
No, I was referring to the
Oh,
dog.
so he waved me off?
He was like,
Oh, I
MC!
see.
Thank you.
I see.
Thank you for the resubbering.
Never heard of a dwarf that couldn't hold his liquor.
We might have a. Looks like we might have a gnat back. So
Got a nap back.
there, yay! You're alive. Okay.
Yeah.
I survived.
You
We
say
were dying without you.
It was hard. It was so hard.
they don't know how to social.
We panicked and got the whole bar drunk.
So yeah, they basically you bought the whole bar a round of drinks.
Oh, good.
Cost you
very
9
nice
pennies.
of you actually. And you're just in time to watch Bertilda challenge this dwarf to a drinking contest. Okay, so when you say, I've never met a dwarf that can't hold his own liquor, at that point he kind of like raises up and squints at you with one eye. He leans over and pushes the guy next to him off the stool. Like, thump. The guy gets up looking really gruff, and at that point you see the dwarf kind of like expand his chest and tap his axe on the left hand, and he's like... And the guy kind of gets up and goes and sits over here instead. With that, the dwarf just goes and pats the stool next to him.
I'm gonna make a big show of walking over here and sitting down
Okay.
on the table. I'm hyping it up, trying to get everybody's attention.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of eyes have definitely started to drift in that direction. Initially, right now, it's more morbid curiosity than anything else. Alright, he looks at you and he says... So what's the problem that you've run into? That makes you think you need to drink yourself into a paralytic stupor?
Do you wanna drink or don't you?
Well, I want a drink. But the question is, do you want a drink? Or do you want a drink?
I want a drink.
He says, so then, what's the wager? Loser pays for all the drinks and say, coughs up a gold?
That works for me. But how about we make it more interesting?
More
I'm gonna shout
interesting.
over my shoulder and I'm gonna say, "Who wants in on this action?"
Okay, few people kind of like start looking.
God damn it, these people are hard.
The guy that got pushed off the stool says, so you're going to try to outdrink this fellow right here? So what you think that you can? You're offering evens money?
I am, but it's not gonna be an issue because I ain't gonna try. I'm gonna do.
He says, I will wager 2 silver pennies that you cannot drink this dwarf off of his stool. With that, this guy here kind of props up and he goes, I'll match that. 2 silver pennies. And at that point, a couple of other people are like, and they see him start digging their hands in their pockets. With this, the barkeep says, I will happily hold the wages. Gerhard Heller is a man of his word. You bring your wages up here, we will put them behind the bar, and I will be sure to make sure that whoever wins receives the wages, and whoever loses promptly pays out. And with that point, you notice like a couple of the guards kind of turn around and start looking in y'all's direction with a bit of a scowl. We will not have any vouchers, not here in the Sword and Flail. With that happening, Back Alley Tom jumps up and scurries over, leans up, pulls himself up to the tip of the bar and says, "I'll have another ale, please." As he does that, he quietly leans in to Old Det and he says, "I do hope your friend knows what she's doing."
She has no idea.
He says,
She was told to make a distraction.
"Is she a hardened alcoholic?"
That
He's gonna
I
be.
suppose we will find out.
He says, "Unless she's got some trick up her sleeve, of which Back Alley Tom could assist with if you're interested."
Ooh.
Hook me up, Old Dad. I don't want to die of alcohol poisoning in an RPG.
And with that, Back Alley Tom kind of like lifts up his tunic to reveal, like, you know, he's got a belt, but he's basically got a belt pouch under his tunic, like strapped around it. And he like pulls out a little teeny tiny vial, and he says, "If she has to pay out all those debts, it's going to cost her quite a small fortune. But for just 5 silver shillings, Back Alley Tom wouldn't mind parting with this. A little bit of sleight of hand, perhaps it could quite easily find its way into one of our dwarven friends' drinks."
Oh my god, is he gonna poison the store?
And what would it do to the dwarven friends drink?
Does Old Dad really care?
From what I overheard, the wager is to drink the other one off his stall.
Right.
It's a fairly slow-acting concoction, but dare say within 10 or 15 minutes after consuming it, our dwarven friend will have quite a difficult time keeping his eyes open.
You said it's 5 silver.
Aye, 5 silver. After all, it looks like there's already almost 10 silver on the bar, so if she loses, she's going to have to cough up not only 10 silver, but also a gold to the dwarf and pay for all the drinks. Seems like a bargain to me.
It's absolutely a bargain. I will pay you your 5 silver, but I will give you an additional 5 if you can be the one who slips it into the drink.
Oh, danger money. Yeah, I'm game.
I'll give you 5 now and 5 whenever it's over.
Right, you are then.
What's your
If you
stat
get
that
caught, you
affects
don't get
that?
Just hope the dwarf doesn't have the consume alcohol trait.
So I'll give him 5 silver now.
All right,
And if he
he
gets
kind
caught,
of like
I don't give him the other 5.
yeah, he palms it and slips it into one of his pouches.
If you get caught, this did not come from me, and you will not get your other 5 silver.
If I get
Okay,
caught, I'll be running out the door as fast as my little legs will carry me.
Very well.
Okay, so there's only been like 2 people that's put up bets.
No, there's been about 5 now.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna be like,
So there, I
what?
mean,
Only 5? Haven't any of y'all ever seen a person from Utengard drink?
oh,
If this dwarf gets murdered, I'm gonna chuckle so hard. Because it's like,
I mean, Odette doesn't want to kill him, but if he dies, she won't feel that bad.
I mean, he said his eyes would, he wouldn't be able to keep his eyes open. He didn't say why.
yeah, he didn't
I
specify.
know.
Right. So
That's why Odette's not got her hands on it.
yeah, I mean, not everybody is completely intrigued, but you do have a reasonable amount of people that are kind of looking in this direction. Go ahead, and seeing as you're pretty much trying to woo everybody into buying into your thing, give me a charm roll.
Oh, Jesus. This is bad, you guys. This is really bad. My charm is really bad.
Oof.
You know what? I still have all my fortune points.
Yeah, but you
so-
have a very low success.
Yeah.
I
rate.
do, but I'm gonna give it one more shot.
All right, let's do it.
oh my god!
Okay, So yeah, you're gonna like, what's the matter? Nobody's seen anybody from Utengard drink before? This guy here kind of turns to this fellow and he goes, "You know, in Utengard," he says, "it is true that they brew a grain alcohol that is sought after even as far as Italia, for it is known for its strength. I believe those people in Utengard are probably all hardened drunks." And he goes,
Got a raid.
"Perhaps this is going to be more interesting than I thought. I will wager 4 pennies, 4 silver pennies." And with that point, these two people have now kind of gotten over. And you've definitely managed to draw a lot more attention to
When
your
that guy
direction.
shouts that, I'm gonna go, hell yeah! Well, somebody wants to make some money.
Okay. So first of all, the dwarf, he says, "We will have 2 glasses of..." We'll start off easy. Let's just get a couple of flagons of Werner's Delight. He says, "That'll be nice and light for you, lass. Won't curdle your stomach. You get to pick the next drink."
Oh, don't take it easy on my account.
Alright, so the barkeep comes all the way down, goes over to this barrel here, pulls out a couple of pints, pops them down, and everybody watches eagerly as the dwarf just looks at it and he goes, "Cheers." And he then quaffs the ale, which is kind of like
Okay.
drinking, but you spill more.
Okay, I'm gonna do it and try to be as showy as he is. I'm gonna kind of grin and wink at the bartender, hoping that the cat is catching what's going on over here.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm through the door.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
gonna
so
say, if
you're going to
anyone's
do
look-
the same thing and try to whip your way through the door?
Yeah.
Same thing would be a perception, but I'm going to give you a plus 30 with the distraction that you've got going on right now. Not perception. Whatever the
Silent,
average...
combined
The
concealment.
average... Well, actually, concealment won't really apply to you, because nobody's eyes are on you. It's just more whether they hear you or not. Like, whether they
excellent.
hear the door go. The barkeep might kind of glance
So
around.
just move silent.
You
then.
go to open
Yeah,
it
give
and
me
the
a move
doorknob
silently,
falls
but you can
off.
have a plus 30 on it.
Okay, the target was 75 and I almost missed.
Is that with the plus 30 you had?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus.
He barely made it. He rolled badly. Okay, so you nip through onto the other side and close the
It's
door.
like one of my better skills, man.
So as you enter, I'm just standing there like, oh, thank God. I didn't know what to do after, I listened, but, I was thinking about smelling both doors up and down, but,
Right.
Smelling.
Okay, so while that's going on, Back Alley Tom slides up to Old Det and he goes, "I strongly suggest that your friend says that the next drink that you should have is, a raspberry Heffenweiss."
Raspberry Heffenweiss.
That doesn't sound like a girly drink.
The strong flavour of the raspberry beer will make it harder for him to detect the added bonus.
So, Old Det will walk up.
And with that,
to-
Back Alley Tom has moved up and propped himself up, not just on the stool, but he's like spun himself up and propped his little butt up on the bar itself.
So Old Det's gonna come up and kind of hop up on the stool by Bertilda,
Okay.
and
Right.
I
Yeah.
believe I'll choose the next drink for you, friend.
I'm gonna kind of look at Oldette and I'm gonna say, sounds good.
And she will order the raspberry Heffenweiss,
Okay.
and we'll just kind of prop up on the bar.
The dwarf
With
kind of
Bertilda.
looks and
I'm gonna
says,
say, that's right. The raspberry
"That's right.
Heffenpfeffer.
Something fruity." He said, "Got to be honest, I'm not surprised. But at least you're sticking with beer and you're not going for something girly like some of that winey stuff.
What do I look like, an elf?
Also, I'm just making you drink what you don't like.
Okay.
We're just starting out.
The barkeep kind of like just turns and starts walking back down here. Goes over to these bottles, picks up one of the larger bottles and turns around to bring it back. As he does so, Back Alley Tom kind of like leans back and says, while you're back there, my good friend, how about you go ahead and pour me a little glass of port, please? He says, sure, just a moment. He goes, oh, no problem. And at that, you kind of see him pat the guy on the shoulder. And with his other hand, he kind of like jumps up onto the bar, spins around, and he says, it seems appropriate that we should have some drinking songs with such hardened liquor being drunk. Come on. And he starts clapping and tapping his foot on the bar, and then he bursts into song. Half the patrons begin to kind of like realize what song he's singing and start singing along with him.
I just want to be good enough in this game to be peers with Back Alley Tom.
And with that, Back Alley Tom says, in the spirit of good cheer, I'll pay for this drink. For both, he says, for both the is your hair orange? Or is it supposed to be blonde?
Her hair is copper.
Yeah, okay. Yes, for the copper-haired lass and the copper-bearded dwarf. And he says, please. And he takes the bottle, like just snatches it out of the bartender's hand, pulls the cork off himself, and then he kind of like Cossack dances down the bar towards you. Okay, we are going to make a legit roll for Back Alley Tom's sleight of hand.
Oh my god. This little halfling is so smooth. Bertilda's got a new crush.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay, Back Alley Tom has a 72.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Sleight of hand.
I have a 0. This is why I hired him to do it.
A 3.
Back Alley Tom.
You
Back
do
Alley
not
Tom roll a
notice-
3.
You don't see Back Alley Tom, but somewhere between a left kick and a right kick, as his leg come up to slightly cover the bottle, his hand tips the little bit of liquor down into the bottle.
Oh my god, this halfling's a badass.
Okay.
Wow.
And then he sits there and continues to Cossack dance as he pours one for the dwarf, and then he pours one for Oldette, and then as he spins around, he accidentally acts like he's losing his balance and kicks Oldette's glass over. And he goes, oh, Butterfingers, I'm sorry, miss, as Oldette is kind of like covered in some of this raspberry-smelling beer. He goes,
Wait, me
another
or
one, please,
Bertilda?
barman?
Oh wait, yeah, Odette or Bertilda.
Oh, probably both of you. 'Cause
Oh.
of where- at which point the barman says, you'll have to pay for that. He says, oh, that's not a problem. My deepest apologies. I really should get off the bar. I think I've had more to drink than I thought I should. And with that, he kind of like acts embarrassed as he jumps down and goes and sits back. I'll position myself out of harm's way, if you don't mind. I do feel a little lightheaded. And with that, the bartender gets another bottle of the Heffenwies and comes and pours a fresh glass for Oldette. I mean, for Bertilda.
We knew what you meant. It's good.
Yeah, so Worf picks
Have
it
you
up.
been drinking?
I was just
Ready?
making sure he wasn't buying me a drink too.
And then he slams his disgusting raspberry Heffenwies beer down. He goes, "Ugh, never did
Hey.
have a favouring for fruit in beer.
So I don't really know what Odette did, but she's the one that told me to get this drink. So I'm gonna slam it aggressively too.
I love that you trust me so much.
Okay.
It'll come back to bite.
Yeah, so, I mean, with such a high skill in a 3, I mean, Back Alley Tom flawlessly just slipped whatever that was into the dwarves' drink, but not in yours. Okay. Meanwhile, what are the elves up to?
You were going to smell the doors?
Well, I wanted to. I mean, my pig nose has to have some use. Right? Maybe I can smell body odor.
I mean, no, it's absolutely true. It does. For sniffing out chaos, I suppose. Let's start in the basement and work from there.
Okay, so you two guys want to go down to the basement.
The basement, is the basement door open, or
it's a flight of stairs that just goes down into the dark.
So, yep.
There's no door at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna descend.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and move quietly while doing so, but
I gotta remember how to do this. So I gotta move Shagget to the basement, and I gotta move Satch to the basement. All right. So basically, you two will be able to see what you can see, but the others should not be able to be. They should
Is that
still
an
be.
Elon Musk emote? It is. Okay.
oh my god.
I was like, wait, where? In the tavern? What are we talking about?
In chat.
It's in chat.
Oh, in chat, there's
I saw it
Okay.
after. I was like, oh wait, there it is.
All right. So the elves, you descend down into the cellar. The cellar of the Sword and Flail is cut out of the rock underneath the ground. The steps lead down into the dark. Stacks of empty barrels are piled up kind of over in the center of the room, whereas to kind of behind you on the back wall are plenty of full barrels, including some like sacks that contain like barley and hops and stuff like that. Kind of stuff that you use to make beer. There's also some busted and damaged, discarded barrels over in the far corner as well.
Take a quick search through all of this with a little concern of any aftermath.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's no like all evil cult members just having a sigil or a seance or
Yeah,
something.
it's a cellar of a pub.
Yeah, so I'm.
Yeah.
I
Don't know what
that's
you were
what you normally
expecting,
find in the
Shaggy.
cellars of an average pub, but
I don't know anymore. Spook. Yeah, I'm gonna help Cad search around.
okay.
basically.
So
Just gonna start
specifically,
digging.
what are you doing and how are you searching?
So I don't trust bags anymore. So I'm gonna like be careful with those. But I'm gonna try, basically looking through to find any kind of like stowaway spot, like any hollow barrels, any of the
Okay.
yeah.
You're going to kind of
looking through
search all
things.
over here in case there's some kind of move a few things, like
Yeah.
and see if there's anything hollow or anything that
But
might
yeah,
be a
with
secret.
the history of hidden hatches and things, I'm also gonna want to move stuff a little bit to try and look underneath.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because we are familiar with trap doors, right? So
Yeah.
try
With
to
the last
find it.
batch, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we're going to leave you guys down there doing exactly that, and we're going to go back up to the tap room. Okay. So, yep, you down your second beer. So let me ask you a question. What is your toughness, Miss Matilda?
I know this. Okay, 34.
Okay, times bonus of 3. So you can drink 3 drinks before you are required to start making any dice rolls. You have had 3 total
Oh shit, you're right.
because you had your one, and then you've drunk 2 with the dwarf. Okay. So the next beer, you will need to make a toughness test. Do you have the consume alcohol skill? Yes, it's a skill. It exists.
No. Of course
Well,
not.
it's not a skill actually. It's a talent. Consume alcohol, but you don't have consume alcohol as a
It's under
talent.
skills.
Okay.
It's there too.
Alrighty. But that's okay.
I'm not Marlo.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Marlo
still
could drink
time.
anybody under the table.
She
There's
did.
still We'll make that into you.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Chat, this is the second time I've gotten into a drinking contest.
No, you like
On
this.
the channel. I promise I'm not an alcoholic.
No, consume alcohol is a skill. That's right. So you will have some level of consume alcohol. Being your
Not
top.
a good one.
Yeah. What do you have? Does it say?
17.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay. So it's the dwarf's turn to order a drink, and he says, "Right then. Now we've got the appetizers out the way. Let's start raising the ante." He says, "We'll have a pint of Green Park Best, please."
How strong is this alcohol that I can only handle 3 drinks? I'm such a lightweight.
Oh, no, it doesn't mean you can only handle 3. It's you can drink 3 without having to start to make any tests.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you've been on the 4.5-5% lagery type range right now. He's got you moving up to sort of like a double bock or something like that, which is about 8% alcohol. The barman brings it over, plops him down, and he says, "Right then, drink."
Okay, yeah, we're doing it.
And he downs the next one. You down your 4th.
Can I perch up on her stool with her and like try to hold her up if she starts to go down? Like that be my goal. If she starts to go down, I'll hold her.
You could attempt that.
Okay. I'll be ready for that, just in case.
Okay. Alrighty.
I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna crush all dead. I'm gonna feel so
So
bad.
you can see Back Alley
I'll do my
Tom is
best. I'm
eagerly
not strong.
watching and with a kind of a smirky grin on his face as he watches you both down the next drink. Okay. Go ahead and if you will, start out by giving me your first consume alcohol test.
Oh.
Doesn't mean you instantly get paralytic and fall over drunk. It's whether or
but I'm
not
gonna
we
fail
add
it.
a level of intoxication to you or not. Okay. You gain 1 level of intoxication.
Okay.
That basically means you are now feeling quite merry and rosy-cheeked and a little flush, but you're still perfectly okay.
You just noticed that your hair matches the dwarf's beard.
That is awesome.
We match. Look, we match.
Like my carpet, your drapes.
Okay, alrighty. After that, he looks at you and he says, "What we have next, lassie?"
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I don't know White Russians.
Moscow Mule.
I have
Slow,
no
comfortable
idea.
screw up against a wall, Mexican style.
Something dark. Just say something dark.
Something to match the color of my soul.
Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna point at the boobs McHooters over here and say, "You can choose."
Okay. She looks in her mug and she says, "Well, I just had a pint of what you just had, so have another." And he goes,
You bitch.
"Suits me fine." He goes, "2 more Parkies, please." And he comes over and pours. He says, the barman at this point looks at both of you and says, "One of you at least is good for this tab, yes?"
Oh yeah, don't worry
How much
about
is
it.
the tab right now?
It's probably it's probably no more than about a silver, if that. I mean, for you guys, that's nothing. But and again, the dwarf just kind of like taps his side, and you hear ch as a money purse somewhere underneath his tunic rattles. He says, "Aye, don't worry, we're good for it."
I actually really like this dwarf, even if he does cause me to get poison, and I hope we don't kill him.
Okay. And you drink
Sorry.
another drink. You will need to make another consume alcohol test. Okay, you are now what we would consider in the regular trade as you are drunk. You are slurring your words. You're not falling off a stool, but you probably couldn't walk in a straight line across the bar if you intended to. The dwarf drinks his
I
fifth
can't do
drink,
that when I'm sober. It's fine.
and with his toughness of 57, he is now on his next drink. He will have to start to make.
Oh
consume
my
alcohol
god.
test. Okay, now while that's going on, back downstairs.
Come on, Tom. Don't screw me, Tom.
In the
Don't you screw me.
It was snake piss.
Snake piss.
Oh.
That. Okay, let's go ahead and have our two elves give us perception checks as they search through all of this stuff over here and this huge stack of barrels here.
Hey.
All right, Matthew Bain.
Ooh, how did I fail that?
So yeah, Matthew Bain, all of the barrels seem to be clearly really full. There are no false empty barrels stacked in this. It would be a major undertaking and probably a messy undertaking to try to move these barrels. You'd have to like remove the chocks and then they're going to split everywhere. But you're fairly sure it would be a huge pain in the ass for anybody to have to move these at any time. It's unlikely someone would put a secret entrance behind here, if at the very least, if it was regularly used.
Okay.
You have gone through, tapped every box, checked every bag. You're fairly sure that there's probably no trapdoors or secret things inside any of these crates. They all seem to be containing goods or merchandise of some kind.
So honestly, the next thing I would do is go to these barrels, which looks very clearly that there isn't anything underneath them, and just kind of like push them to see if they're heavy.
They're heavy. You can tilt them.
I tilt
and
them.
Kind of.
All right, full.
You go through and everything against this wall here seems to be pretty inconspicuous.
So yeah, then I'd obviously go down here.
Okay.
These three that are like.
3 barrels. Those barrels are are decidedly older than all the other barrels in here. They're intact, but they're very old and they're very dry. Okay.
I'd try to roll one.
Roll them around, yeah.
Yeah.
Roll this one. Yeah, so spread them apart,
Roll those barrels.
What a surprise.
Roll those. Oh.
You do indeed find a trap door underneath the 3 old barrels. Being old and empty, they're pretty easy to move. You just roll them all out the way, and a wooden trap door is in the floor.
Hear me out, Matthew Payne. What if we got some of those full barrels?
We're not doing that again, Cadrell.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, we do need evidence. What would
the difference is this time you actually need some evidence, not necessarily to stop cultists from ever getting out the basement again.
I mean, we could just be like, hey, we found evidence and we covered it up, so it's still down there. Yeah, that'll work. Mm-hmm.
And then they get down there and there's and it's nothing but a drainage ditch. I mean, there's no evidence at all.
A chaotic drainage ditch.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing.
Worst poop you've ever seen.
I don't think Matthew Bain heard or knows about the drinking contest. So I'm just going to say to Cadrell, should it just be us two?
The others are forming a distraction upstairs so that we can afford the opportunity to get in, grab something, and run. That being said, if we do get in and grab something, I'm going to need you to run.
Oh, again with the running, huh? You wanted me to run last time with the mob. You're like, take this wounded guy.
I'm the one who can hold a shield. That's all it is.
But is that? Oh, so you don't think I'm useless?
What?
He didn't say
No,
that.
you're the...
You actively got rid of me with that mob.
You think that's what that was?
Oh, I can cast spells successfully sometimes.
Which is more than I can do. I can't do any at all. You're going to become a powerful sorcerer someday, and I want to be alive there when it happens.
No, I'm not. I'm a failure. I'm an absolute failure. What are you talking about?
You're a failure for a year. Like, what is that?
I've been.
How many of these are we going to watch?
I've been failing for much longer than that, Cat.
Okay, that's all well and good, but we have as long as we need.
I mean, I even took one of those books and to see if I could glean anything more, to become actually useful.
You probably did, yeah?
It was just gibberish about the cult. I stowed it away.
Hmm.
One of those illegal books,
One of those illegal books, the ones that the Nazis burn.
Jesus.
This
Catcher in the Rye.
this one is
Jesus
entitled
Lord.
Little House on the Prairie. It's called
What
Everybody
I'm
Poops.
saying is, I'll be able to slow them down longer than you'd be able to slow them down, yes?
Right, so we run, and then what? We
If we
burst through the
can't...
door above and say, we broke in and we're being attacked by...
I mean, if it comes down to we're being attacked by cultists, I don't think that's going to be the issue. Also, I'm pretty sure the distraction upstairs is pretty good. We have Odette on the case.
If
I
she
don't
can
know.
keep
I don't
Matilda
know.
alive.
Last I heard, she was speaking in all different voices from different people.
He's clearly bipolar. Yeah.
Now,
No,
trust me.
He has multiple personalities. At least 2 of them have deep voices.
Some of them are useful.
And some talked in the third person.
We don't know. Maybe that's what it sounds like inside old
Bob
Dole.
Dole! Point being, if we're being chased by cultists, I don't care what they think upstairs. I'm getting out of here, right? But
Yes.
if both of us can't get out of here, we have work to do upstairs. I'd feel I'm better at hand-to-hand combat.
I mean, I could...
You can butter them,
I can hit him with a stick.
but
I'll butter them good. All right. Let's
I'll
open
throw
this
some
chapter.
darts.
Yes, I'm going to wield a few darts in my hands. The preparation.
you've been the butt end of a lot of jokes. You've been the butt end of a lot of actual things happening. It sucks, but don't let that get in the way now, okay? Or I'll die, or you'll die, or someone will die, and it'll be sad. Let's not have that. I'm gonna prop the door open and start climbing down.
Okay. So you begin to climb down the cellar.
Yep, I'm gonna draw my shield and axe so that I'm...
I'll follow.
Okay. It is an actual ladder this time that goes down,
Okay.
not a flight of stairs. All right.
Excellent.
Is there a door at the bottom of it?
No.
2 doors. One
You
is
hear
red.
Odette in the back of your mind go, "Don't open the bags. Be careful."
Meanwhile, back upstairs. All right. Another drink. So at this point, it is the dwarf's turn to
Shit.
order. Okay, he says, line us up with 2 pints of Templar's Downfall.
Oh, that sounds like a.
And you hear a few people go, ooh, as they all kind of lean in to see what happens. All right, he comes and pours 2 pints of a very black, dark-looking beer. And
Oh my
before
God,
you can
my
even pick
distraction
it up,
works
there's
too
a very
well.
kind of coppery and almost irony smell to it. He says, right then. Cheers.
Cheers.
But he suddenly seems to have a hard time focusing on the mug itself.
Okay, I obviously know that I'm gonna be screwed if I drink all of this, so I'm going. You don't look so good. Are
How
you?
much
Are
has he had to
you?
drink before this?
He is,
Are you good?
I'm fine. And he drinks it down. And he will start off by making his first consume alcohol skill, which he will pass. So he actually would shrug that off. The problem is, it's not the alcohol that's affecting him. It is something else entirely beginning to work. If you remember, Tom did say, it's slow acting. It won't work straight away, but 10 or 15 minutes after he's drunk it, and you're about 10 minutes in at this point.
Yeah, but I don't know any of this.
At that point, as the dwarf he goes, drink.
You got it.
All right, and you need to make another consume alcohol roll.
Oh no!
I'm going to.
Yes!
Oh my good God! On the nose, you manage to pass it, so you don't actually get to the falling off the stool stage. You're one away. Okay, you're holding in there.
Why?
It
Why
was
am
a
I more
dark,
stressed?
heavy beer, and it took a lot to chug it down, but you did so.
Why are we more
I'm gonna
stressed about
slam
what's
it and go.
happening upstairs than what's happening down?
The party's more invested in a drinking contest than they are in discovering mischief below.
I'm coming for you.
He kind of looks at you and squints. He goes, right then, it's your
Viva
turn
la-
to pick.
Unger.
Right you are! And you say that, and the barman says, right you are! And he goes over to the bottles and pulls out a cork and pours 2 tall shot glasses full of a very clear liquid. And
Oh
goes
my
and
God.
pops it down the table.
Hometown
Yes.
drink.
Oh my God,
You
what
said
did I
Utgard,
do?
you just ordered that stuff that they were talking about. You know,
That's what he thought happened? Oh well, I'm not gonna correct him. I'm just gonna be like,
the dwarf says, I don't usually care for that sort of stuff.
why not?
He goes,
Are you
more alcohol
Fair.
than drink. Still, it doesn't matter. And he kind of reaches out and he has to stop and pause to steady his hand. Okay, we are going to give him a toughness test. Toughness is 58. He rolls a 72. Okay. He reaches for the glass and you see him stop. And then he has to really, really focus. And he
get on with it?
he tries to grab the glass first, but he misses by about 3 inches. And then the second time he swipes at it and he misses again. And then he holds his own wrist as he kind of angles it carefully, like one of those weird grab machines to get hold of the glass. And he slowly
Unger.
picks it up,
Unger. Unger.
brings it back towards himself. And he motions for you. Get ready then. On the count of 3.
1,
2.
2,
3.
3.
And he slams it into his mouth. As he does so, he kind of leans back, and his little stunt legs go straight up in the air as he falls backwards, crash into the corner of the bar, and the stool gets pushed over. And at that point, the whole crowd "Wah!" and they all start cheering and hollering.
Stand up and I go, Unger! And
Did you
half
drink-
of it's gonna splash down my
Did you drink your shot, or did you?
I had it in my mouth, but when he goes down, I'm gonna stand up and shout, and it's just gonna.
Oh, you're gonna deliberately spit it out. Okay, that's fine. All right, you are
very
you're
attractive.
basically considered drunk, but you are not paralytic. So yeah, you can function in a basic fashion. Walk where you want, say what you want, albeit probably not quite how you would want to say it. But you are at a -20 on physical tasks until you sober up. That would include fighting and things like that.
Oh yeah.
However,
You guys better not need me, because y'all will be screwed.
So there you go. All right. But you won the drinking contest, so basically with that, the barkeep comes around, rifles through the dwarf's pockets, takes whatever he thinks he's owed, and then he promptly pays out all the patrons, and then he gets the gold piece from behind the bar and hands it to you. And
I'm
this
gonna
is
take
yours.
it.
He says. Then a strange thing occurs as he glances around and he says, Dare we do it? And they're like, do it. And he goes, upstairs! And they're like, yeah! And all of a sudden, everybody just gets up in a riotous cheer, and several of the guards and stuff come over and they pick the dwarf up, and they start moving towards the side door.
What?
We have got something mysterious.
What are they gonna
Is
do?
the dwarf still alive? Is actually,
I mean, maybe for now.
Okay.
They're gonna tar and feather him or something.
They're gonna give him a swirly or like.
Yeah, it's gonna be something
They're
juvenile.
gonna put his hand in warm liquid.
I'm going to wait until like a lot of the people pass me and then go to our good friend to pay up.
You're good. Oh, okay.
the
halfling
Tom
one,
guy, right? Yeah.
Tom.
Okay.
My good
Tom
friend
guy,
here.
that's back alley Tom. Me and him go way back.
He's my friend now.
My best friend.
Tossing the
Okay,
dwarf out the upstairs
he tells
window.
this bald guy, "You'll watch the bar," and he nods and goes and stands behind the bar itself. As all of these, as I said, this group of individuals here, all begin to head upstairs. Okay, what? They all go through the door, and you can hear them all giggling and laughing as they're dragging the dwarf upstairs. What do you two want to do at this point?
I'm gonna go over to Tom and give him his other 5 silver.
Okay, he says, there we go, miss. That made it a little fairer, didn't it?
It certainly did. What are they about to do to him now?
Oh, they're taking him up to the drunkard room.
What is that?
Well, you see, they've got a bit of a sense of humour here. There's a room up there, and the bed is nailed to the ceiling, and so are all the chairs. In fact, the floor is the ceiling, and the ceiling is the floor. What they do is they put him in the room, lock the door, and watch him through a peephole as he tries to figure out which way he's actually facing, because he's kind of upside down, if you get what I'm saying.
What the actual fuck?
Because it's a bit of a pastime here at the Flail.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
I want a bar.
We
like
were all
that.
scared that it was gonna be like a lynching or something. It's so good.
And how long does this usually last?
He says, well, normally, they come around and they're in paralytically drunk state to start with. They kind of come to a little bit, look around, and then they start realising something ain't right. The funny part is usually when they start jumping and trying to figure out why they can't reach the ceiling. He said, unfortunately, our dwarven friend is not simply suffering from a little bit of intoxication. He'll be out for a couple of hours, I'm afraid. They probably won't be very happy because he's not going to be very good entertainment. They'll probably chuck some buckets of water over him to try to bring him round, but that ain't going to do it either.
I'm gonna come walking up behind Odette, and I'm gonna be like, Odette, did you see that? That was awesome. I'm gonna trip over the bench.
You did very well, Batilda. You've definitely distracted everyone.
I mean, a lot of people are going through that door, so, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, it would be very easy for you to follow the crowd and then either go upstairs with, or once you get through there, you're obviously going to see the two sets of stairs. So it's up to y'all.
Yeah, I was trying to get a sense of how long they would be up there, so I would know if it was safe to come out. When it was safe to come out, like how fast do we have to do this? Yeah, I'm gonna follow the group and disappear from the group, like tail and like slowly.
Okay.
I am
gonna
such a
go
liability right now.
up or down?
I
mean, You don't necessarily know where the two elves went. You do know that apparently Jacob Bauer found the book in the basement.
Yeah, I was about to say, and logically, if there's the cultist activity, I would think like the last place we were in, we went down.
Okay.
So I would think down. I might start to go up and just like not even get a full layout, but just like see where they're going,
Okay, I'll show you.
and then dip back down as
I'll
soon
show
as I
you the
can.
upper floor just real quick.
Yeah.
Just so you guys
I wouldn't
can
get a
see
full
it.
layout. I wouldn't like walk all the way down with them and hang out.
Yeah. You get to the top of the stairs. They open a door. It kind of leads out into a bunch of other rooms and stuff like that. You can see several other doors.
Yeah.
But
No windows.
no.
That I can see?
Not that you can see, but there would be windows, but they're all going to be inside the rooms. So.
Yep.
So you want to go down as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would just like dip up, like see where they're headed to be like, okay, I'm out.
Okay. For convenience sake, and probably about the same time, so you're going to come downstairs. Now, bear it in mind, of course, Bertilda is still very, very drunk.
Yeah, I would trail behind her.
As you
but, yeah.
come down, you will see a trap. You basically see the layout of this room, and you will see the trapdoor lid closing.
Well, that looks like it's our cue. Are you okay to go down there?
I'm perfect. Boop. I'm gonna boop all dead on the nose.
You
Yes.
just boot me.
You're very lucky I like you.
I like you too.
Oh.
I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
I think you should stay in the back, though. I know you're used to being in the front, but for tonight, let's stay in the back.
Okay, but if somebody starts to throw blood up on you, you run.
I am
can't
not
take
going...
you back to the temple.
That's right, we can't go back there. I will not let anyone throw up blood on me, if at all possible.
One of the things I'll try to avoid today. Okay.
Dear diary, today I got blood chucked on.
You've got red on you. Okay,
I'm like
so
wondering if I should leave her with like my quill and like a piece of paper trying to learn how to write her name or something. Like, should I treat her like a toddler right now?
you probably write rude words and sit there giggling.
She can't write though. She'd probably draw pictures.
All right, so are you guys? Is your goal to kind of like be hot on their heels and go behind them, or?
Mine is, yes.
Yeah,
in case they need backup.
I think that we would be trying to catch up with them.
But I would also be trying to keep Bertilda quieter and
Gotcha.
upright.
All right. Well, surprise to bloody prize. The next map is dynamic lighting map. So, viewers will see what they will see, but players, please, if you have the stream open, close the stream video and just just keep open the chat so you don't see any spoilers.
That's perfect. Everybody loves being fucking wasted in the dark.
Right.
Nap
Oy.
time.
Okay, I will position you guys as need be. So, who went down first?
Ed.
Cad did. Okay.
Oh yeah, he did, huh?
All right, Cad. There you are. You come down the stairs here to a very small and tight little passageway. Now, if you're not familiar with dynamic lighting and you're in chat, basically this is what the players see. They only see what their token or what their character could actually see. The reason it's kind of all red is because he's an elf and he is using his elven dark vision to be able to see. So if it's lit up by natural light, it'll be kind of yellow, but if it's red, then it's going to be because of night vision. Okay, next down the ladder
Matthew Bain.
is Matthew Bain. All right. Of course, Matthew Bain can see Catarel and what he sees from there.
I'm still
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
still on
other
the other
map.
Yep, I'm fixing to move you guys over to it, so
Yeah, I figured.
moving everybody to it.
Yep.
And we go 1 and 2. There you go.
Oh, Lord.
Right, I'll just show you again. So here you go. There's the ladder that you came down, and you're in this little corridor. And for you as well, there's the ladder that you came down. All right. Now, as you guys have gotten to the bottom ladder, as I said, you can see a short, tight, natural kind of cavern way carved into the rock ahead of you. But at that point, you also hear movement directly above by the trapdoor.
Okay. I mean, I just freeze because I didn't know who's above us. I'm just like, someone's above us.
Yeah. Behind me, I guess.
I already thought I was.
I mean, behind me again. If they're coming down, are they coming down the ladder? I don't.
I'm.
Whatever comes down this ladder, I'm going to slap so hard with my fucking head that it
Without
dies
even waiting,
instantly.
without
I'm not
waiting
gonna wait
or
to
even
see
taking
who
a
or
second
what it
to
is.
ascertain
I'm
what
going
it
to
is.
kill whatever's coming down this ladder.
Asshole.
I'm gonna look up to the trapdoor.
What did I
with
just do?
a dart ready.
There we go.
I'm not gonna get behind you again though, because I'm actually more afraid of what's in this chamber.
That makes
What's
sense,
above.
but like,
Yeah.
When you're in the basement, there's a lot of stuff above you. I guess you're deeper than the basement.
I mean, if we just catch a cultist, then
It's advanced basement.
Advanced basement.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the trapdoor to open again to see what's peering down at us, basically.
Okay. So those of you that are about to come down the trapdoors, how you want to handle this?
So, how far down is it? Would it be really deep?
So you kind of like open up the trapdoor and look. You can see the ladder kind of like going straight down. It goes down maybe 10 feet. It's not that deep.
Okay. All right. It's
do
pretty deep for
halflings
me,
have a
okay?
particular smell?
No, but you would absolutely hear me because at
You would
this point,
smell Bertilda.
I mean, you
I
could,
would be like, oh,
She smells like pure alcohol.
I was
Also,
about to
her
say
face is probably-
I'd give Pignose there a chance to smell
Yeah, okay.
smell alcohol.
Absolutely would.
Alcohol.
All right. Success.
Yeah, you can smell. But of course, that's not
It's
surprising.
alcohol.
There's a bar above and a cellar.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say I smell booze.
Smell.
I smell
Okay.
God,
body
I gotta
booze.
go down a ladder while I'm drunk and in
old
the
Dad's
dark.
gonna be like, oh, Batilda, I'm not sure you can do this right now. Are you sure you don't?
I can do it.
Can
I'm
you?
gonna start climbing like half up the ladder after hearing them and be like, "It's very, very dark. If you can't see without light, maybe don't."
No, I could
You're
illuminate.
gonna hear it, and through the darkness you're gonna hear Bertilda go, I can do it.
I don't think she can do it.
Do it.
I can light up the scene. Just come down here,
I,
please, so I'm
I
not
don't
alone.
think I don't think she can do this.
I don't want to be alone. I believe in Bertilda.
I don't currently believe in Batilda.
She's the only one with a shield.
Wait, why aren't we believing in Bertilda? She said she can
Matthew
do
Bay
it.
believes in me. I can do this.
Why are we saying no to our fighter? I don't understand.
She's fighting an internal battle at the moment, it would seem.
Say that so many ways. I'm not going to. What?
She's
Matthew
drunk.
Bay believes in me. I've got to try.
Wait. Wait, we got our frontline fighter wasted?
We did nothing. She did this to herself. Okay, I saved this whole situation.
I was.
Otherwise, she would be locked in the room upstairs with a bunch of
At
people
the-
watching her.
It was a. It was. It was virgin. Divert.
It was
Yes,
a
yes.
virgin.
It was the Virgin.
I
Why don't you stand guard here. And
No,
so that no one
stand her down.
I don't know if she can even make it down the ladder.
Guys,
Catch her.
don't fight. Don't fight.
We don't have time for this.
Yes, she's coming.
Okay.
I will light up the area if I can cast a spell.
I'm not sure that's even going to help.
I'm gonna peek ahead a little bit, just around the corner to see
Okay.
what's going on. Oh. I'm gonna
Yeah.
He owed. Catterall?
He kind of looked around and went, and popped his head back.
It's bad. It's kind of like the corn crypt.
There's corn?
Like the what?
There was some kind of bone-strewn altar thing covered in what looks like blood.
Are you both? So y'all are both coming down.
Yes.
Chicken bones?
Okay. So you can navigate the ladder with an easy, which gives you a plus 10. Be an easy. What is it here? Yeah, an easy agility check. Miss. If you're helped, it's fine. But if you're just going to try to clamber down, easy agility chest, and down you can come.
Oh, me?
Yep. Yep. You climbing down the ladder. It's perfectly doable, but it's not as easy as it would be for normal people, being that you are very, very drunk.
You said an agility?
Yeah, so
Well,
whatever
that
your
would try
agility
to
is,
help,
add
but I'm not sure
10
she's
to
about
it.
to. Mm-hmm.
I'll help.
Oldette would try to help, like maybe trying to put her foot somewhere, but it's not going to be like super helpful because she's tiny.
Okay. Yep, no problem. You're not drunk. You managed to get to the bottom
Apparently
without
I
even
am, 'cause I
falling
just
or
tried to start
without
Final
even
Fantasy
missing
14.
a rung. Look.
Okay, there we go. See?
Alrighty.
I'm going to
Ha!
reach into my pouch,
Okay.
Good choice.
pull out a firefly, one of a few dead fireflies I happen to have,
Okay.
and try. I have a fucking mosquito in here. It's driving me crazy.
Use it for the spell.
I'm gonna try to use the mosquito for the spell. I'm gonna
Blood
channel, basically, hoping.
Nope.
I failed because life hates me.
He's gonna have a spell.
Channeling success, no. Ingredient use, yes. And let's see if this succeeds. Knowing me, it'll fail.
Alright, we just wait for the macro to figure itself out. It's about
Just
8
give me
seconds.
one victory, please, world.
And it should be about now.
Oh,
There you
go.
mother.
You failed. You get a little a brief flare up, and that's about it.
We can't just use a torch. It's okay, Matthew Bane.
No, I'm gonna do something. And then I'm gonna try to just cast glowing light, something really easier.
Okay.
I'm not gonna use. I'm not gonna try to channel it, but I'm gonna use the drop of oil and see if that freaking works. Jesus Christ! I have to roll a 2 or more, guys.
Yep.
You can do it.
Do it.
Petty magic.
Don't roll doubles.
Hey!
Yay!
Hey!
I'm gonna cast it on Caterpillar's shield because I love him so much.
Right. Now it makes the.
You
So
want to
basically,
make him a glowing
it makes the-
target.
It makes it glow, but it doesn't give off a whole lot of light. So let me see here. We go to the down.
It's the light of a lantern.
Yeah. Let's see. Night vision distance, limited field of vision. Token emits light on. Light of a lantern, so it's going to be 6.
This is perfect. Wonderful. Thank you. I wasn't sneaking.
Aim right here.
Into the shadows. So glad.
Okay. So now for Bertilda, who previously could see nothing, she actually now has a little bit of vision because But what we
it's
also
not a lot,
can do
but
here...
it's not like I'm going to be much help right now.
Now, again, this is one of the things we like about dynamic lighting, the new version. So if you look here, chat, you can see initially it's actually light source, but then he can see past that with his night vision, and that's where it kind of fades to the red. So the bit that you can see very clearly and very easily, that is the light being emanated from the spell, and beyond that is what he can see with his light. And anybody else, again, same thing. The reason that Matthew Bain can't see any further is because there's a corner there. But, all right, guys.
I'm sorry, Cat, but I mean, I just don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone.
Yes.
And we
well,
die together. And I'm gonna start walking forward.
Die
let's
together.
try not to die.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait back to see what Bertilda does because I kind of want her to walk ahead of me.
All right. Looking into the open chamber, what you can see is a sinister-looking altar that is kind of like... was originally a stone slab altar, but somebody has taken great pains to kind of mount human skulls on the corners and all around the sides, and human femur bones like laying across it, almost like some kind of morbid, gaudy, blood-stained kind of wicker top made of bones. Next to it is a small plinth, the kind that would normally hold a book, but it's kind of like knocked over and laying on the ground.
I don't know how to turn this into evidence.
Well, we should just go in and look for something.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my shield up and step up to the front.
Okay, the second you... the
what
second
the
you
hell are
step
those?
into, like, step right up level, leaping round the corner, like, literally, initially, just almost just to terrify you rather than attack you, are these two bizarre kind of mutated
Amnesia-looking
humanoids. They've got huge, big... their fingernails have, like, grown to extreme lengths. Their faces now look kind of like drawn in, almost kind of like that corn amulet that you found. The skull on the corn amulet, their faces kind of resemble it. They've gone dark and kind of ruddy red, and their eye sockets have sunken in. Their cheekbones have protruded, almost like their skin, all the flesh underneath the skin is gone, and it's just been stretched over the actual skeletal form itself. Their hideous bestial appearance is only made worse by the fact that their mouths are just kind of like hanging loose, and their tongue has been elongated, and it just like is laying there, dripping saliva off of it, dropping down their chest and onto the floor. There's a rancid, acrid smell coming from them as well. Initially, the first thing that happens is bestial appearance kicks in. You, my friend, as they leap out like in front of you to try to terrify you, what's your initial reaction? What do you think you would normally want to do?
Hold up my shield to protect myself from anything that might be hitting me because...
Okay, so you're going to like throw your shield up and cower behind it. Okay, that's cool. Make a willpower test, please.
Oh, that's unsavory.
I'm gonna spend it.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Sorry.
Last one for the day. Here we go. 46 is a pretty okay chance. I don't...
Yes.
Okay.
All right, you succeed. Your gut tells you to leap back, to flee, to run. For a brief moment, you're almost full and like welled up with terror. But you manage to kind of like grit your teeth and steady your resolve and hold your position. But these things clearly have no intention of letting you pass them into the chamber. The way they both kind of like flanked into the sides and maneuvered to make sure that there's no way past them. You'd have to like blast your way physically through them to get any further into the chamber. So that's what he sees. Beyond him, yep, that's what Old Det will see.
I was about to say I would have been right behind him because I don't.
Matthew Bain can see that,
alone.
and Bertilda, she can see at least one of them. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're actually going to stop there for tonight because we're very close to the end, and I don't want to break midway through you getting ripped limb from limb. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically call that a great place to wrap it up with a nice little cliffhanger. Alrighty. There we go. Good place to stop for this evening. Much love. Keep it real, and we will see you guys soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.